What does it mean to be a witch? Well, we know that the Salem witch trials that took place in the late 1600s unfairly accused widowed women of being witches in order to take their land. They didn't like that they had power, they didn't like that they had land, and the only way to obtain it was through their husband's passing. We also know that women who were midwives and healers were also regularly and unfairly accused of being witches throughout the mid-centuries. This was because they no longer wanted women to be helping in birth or any kind of medicinal practice. But where does the word witch come from? And when did we start using it? Why was it a bad thing? Well, the first known account in English society was by King Alfred in his Book of Laws. He did write it in Latin, and this happened in the late 800s, like 890, around that era. And he wrote about how both men and women could be witches, but only that woman deserved to die for it. King James also wrote a book in the 1500s about demonology. And this was the late 1500s. We're talking like 1592, I believe. And he wrote this book about how demons were bad, how witches were bad, and all this trickery he believed was occurring because of women. And the reason he wrote it is because he blamed them for the death of his mother. There was also another popular book that was written by a German clergyman in the 1400s. It's called Malleus Maleficarium, and it basically directly translates to the Hammer of Witches. In it, he talks about how women are more likely to fall susceptible to evil magic because they are the weaker sex. Yep. It was eventually banned because of its inaccuracies and the fact that it's not even based on true demonology or Christianity. But this terminology can't have just shown up randomly in the 800s. Where did it come from before that? It was Latin, remember? So let's go back to the Romans. So the Romans used terms and terminologies like Wicca, Wiki, and it basically meant like sorcerer, okay? But a lot of this stems from their term maleficus or malefia, and that was either to describe male or female bad magic practitioner, and anybody could be accused of it. So you could be high society, you could be poor, it did not matter. It mainly dealt with people who were considered to be deceivers, playing deception like scammers, or people who were poisoning others. The only thing is, there wasn't really much of a way to prove it, and a lot of people were falsely accused.